The peaks and valleys of college football have never been more evident than this year. Mississippi, in the valley of defeat with Tulane a week ago, the exhilarating peak of a victory over Tennessee at Jackson. The Volunteers, conversely, from the peak of a victory over Notre Dame, the valley of defeat at Jackson to Mississippi. A time of frustration for fans, for players, and I guess, Coach Majors, after a 44-20 score, for coaches as well.
Yeah, John, I guess we won't have as much fun tonight as we had last week. You have to take the bitter with the sweet, unfortunately, and certainly this is no time to be a great jovial individual, I suppose. But however, when you're very good to people, quite often they accept your kindness. I receive it very gratefully and graciously, which Ole Miss did our goodness to them Saturday. As a ball game, the first half, both teams looked, in my opinion, very average at best. And I think that's what we're seeing a lot in college football. We permitted the NCAA to legislate mediocrity, pretty much. There is a certain amount of excellence in college football, a limited amount. But you're seeing very few great football teams anymore, and very few real poor ones. You're seeing a lot of below average, a lot of average, and some above average football teams. And as a result, you see a lot of peaks and valleys. Ole Miss got better as the game went on. We got worse. The first half, our defensive football team did some decent things. Our offensive football team put together one good drive. But we were very good and gave the ball twice inside of our 15-yard line, which resulted in Ole Miss touchdowns. We had a touchdown also that was pretty much a gift that we got from them. We looked like we came back to start the second half with some spark, and very disappointing. We couldn't score from the 1-yard line. So it's history, a very disappointing defeat. Two teams that are still struggling, and we were beaten, so we've got to go to the next one.
And we'll be seeing this one right now as Mississippi and Tennessee play at Jackson, Mississippi. A gorgeous afternoon for football. Clear skies. There you see number 57 for Tennessee, Steve Davis, out there with Aguillard, with Brad White. And over there is Bill Marin, the captains, meeting with the captain representing all of the seniors who were on the field for Mississippi.
It was a beautiful day for a football game. A very, very unenthusiastic crowd overall, you know, and I think it's probably the way that football teams, both of them, played early in the ball game.
And here it starts.
What a start. What a start. My gosh. Pathetic start. We mishandled the ball initially, came upfield and we got hit, didn't protect the football, and this set the tone for the day. 2 plays, Ole Miss is going to score. That is just horrendous play individually and a very poor start on our part.
Ole Miss 4K handoff Hooper over the left side of the line, and he moves from the 12-yard line where the ball was recovered down to the 7, and Ole Miss will have it.
There's no excuse for that. Touchdown on the draw play. Hooper scores from the 7.
And so, quickly in 2 plays, Mississippi is on the scoreboard leading Tennessee 6-0 after recovering the opening kickoff fumble. And it's Hooper driving it in, and the score 6-0, and here to attempt the extra point will be Langley. The kick is up, and as you see, the kick is good, and so Mississippi with
less than a minute going in the ball game.
14-19 left to go in the first period. It's 7-0, and here's Mississippi kicking off.
We're also going to get another bad start here. Very, very poor field position. Ole Miss has the wind to their back. Kickoff. Roland James is in there in the place of Moore, who's injured. And we very, very luckily got that one back and we started on our 12-yard line. So individual play, something like that, costs your team dearly. And really is quite inexcusable.
So Tennessee, 1st and 10 at its 12-yard line. Berry and Simpson. That's Simpson
in motion here. We have Oshetsky quarterback, open up with a trap play. Very well stuffed by Ole Miss. We didn't get to the line of scrimmage. Our offensive line was not as proficient, certainly to any degree, near what it was the week before. We've played erratic football, good standing job of Oshetsky, strictly getting it on his own. Our offensive line play has been very erratic, up and down. So is our football team.
1st and 10, Tennessee, as Oshetsky, the quarterback, carries the ball out to the 24-yard line.
Decent block in there, and certainly a fine surge for Hubert Simpson. 170 yards and 27 carries, I believe.
So Simpson that time picks up the first 6 yards of that total, and this time it's Berry up the middle for a gain of 2, and it'll be 3rd down 2 for Tennessee, trailing 7-0 at the Volunteer 32-yard line. Tennessee in white, Mississippi wearing dark or red jerseys as you watch. The pitch to Simpson at the corner.
The next first down, good running and good blocking. He's romping and stomping right now. That's a good start for us. Taking the ball off our 12-yard line.
There it is at the 40 as once again the pitch this time is taken.
Again, a decent play. We're making 5 yards right, John. 2nd and 5.
2nd and 3 with a gain of 7 that time by Simpson. Knocked down by Jordan at the 47-yard line.
Did some good things at times the first half and completely fell apart. Deep pass, and he is covered well by Ole Miss.
That was Freightman who breaks up the pass intended for Hancock. It will be 3rd down 3 to 47. Not a capacity crowd on hand as this time.
Too much pressure. Our protection was not as good Saturday. We had people up in our quarterback's face more than we have had the last few weeks.
So it's 4th down, and here's John Warren to punt with Mississippi leading Tennessee 7-0 in the first period of the game.
Disappointing that we stopped ourselves on 3rd and 3. And actually, no, Ole Miss has something to do with that. They rushed the passer. But the main thing that was good about that drive, we brought it off our 12-yard line and established some field position, and then something good is going to happen to Tennessee right now.
So it's going to be Mississippi with the ball at its own 13-yard line. For Cade, the quarterback, number 1. Perry.
Good defensive play. The whole left side of our line stacked it up. They knocked the ball loose, and Brian Ingram recovered it on the 13-yard line of Mississippi.
So Tennessee takes over, 1st down and 10 to go, trailing 7-0 as the defense comes up with a stick, and the fumble occurs, and Tennessee recovers it.
Kenny Jones and also Charles Gillespie, our left linebacker, making the stop.
Simpson at the left side of the line.
Good running, very good running, finding every bit of daylight he could get.
Picks up a total of 8 yards on the play. So Tennessee trailing 7-0 has it. Simpson.
Field running, he's running with a good body lean, second effort.
1st down and goal for Tennessee, moving deep and deep into Mississippi territory.
Oshesky fake and keep inside behind the dive back. Hubert Simpson and James Berry for the touchdown.
So Tennessee cuts the gap to 7-6 as Oshesky takes it in, and so after Mississippi fumbles, Tennessee recovers, just as Mississippi had taken a Tennessee fumble in. Now Tennessee will try to tie the score with Ingram holding.
And we do tie it, and really, you could say that, well, both those things even out the first 2 fumbles, but frankly, we made ours happen more than what Ole Miss did the first time. We completely fumbled the kickoff. Well, they hit him pretty well, but we didn't protect the ball. So whatever, we start off even 7-7 after 2 breaks against both teams.
And this is Duncan kicking off for the Volunteers. It's taken here by Williams.
The big factor in this ball game, John, was turnovers, and where the turnovers occurred. We lost the ball 4 times. Once we threw the ball on 4th and 10 in the end zone for an interception and a touchback. 3 of the times we fumbled on our 27, our 15, and our 12. It resulted in 3 touchdowns.
This is Hooper carrying for Mississippi, and he comes jolting forward for a gain of 8 yards on the play to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 2 to go.
I felt like in a ball game that we let the ball carriers fall forward too much. I didn't feel like they had much spark. Ole Miss in the first half, but the second half, their offensive football team gained a lot of confidence. They ran a much better second effort, and we did knock them back very frequently at all the second half.
That was Perry for a gain of 5, and it's 1st and 10 Mississippi at the 33. For Cade to pass.
Well covered by our secondary. Linebacker Danny Spradlin was back in good shape, and Al Barksdale and Roland James overlapped quite well. We lost containment.
For Cade, ripping the pass downfield, it is complete to Toller for a gain of 21 yards.
That was poor defensive part there. We had him well contained initially, had him trapped, but the left side of our defensive line let him out. It was a good big play for Ole Miss.
So Ole Miss moving in a 7-7 game. For Cade.
And we trap him here, contained.
Being chased, Forcade coming to the near sideline and is run out of bounds with help from Barksdale. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Good tackle, knock him back, more like it. And there's Danny Spradlin, and the second man up is Val Barksdale. We had some decent plays like that the first half, and very rarely the second half. Come on, get to him, get your hands up.
Forcade's pass incomplete, intended for Seawright. Jones defends for Tennessee. It's 4th down and 9, and here is Jim Miller.
Probably the biggest factor in the ball game besides our own poor play was Jim Miller's fine punting. He was an excellent punter. Kicks the ball as far and as high as any punter I think I've seen in years, or maybe anybody I've seen, period. Small consolation. I'm glad he's gone because he is an outstanding man in the punting game and gave them great field position.
Simpson picks up 3. Then Olszewski is wrestled down for no gain by the trailing Hawkins. So it will be for Tennessee at the 23-yard line in Volunteer territory in a 7-7 game, 3rd down 7.
Good job on the backside of our offensive line. Penetration got to us before the option play developed. Men in motion here. Olszewski back to pass. Scramble, turn up field, block for it. That's where it turned back. An excellent block there.
Olszewski gets 4 yards on the play, but it's short of a first by 3. So once more, as you see the chain marker on the far sideline, John Warren enters the game to punt.
John
7-7 the score.
Very well the first half.
Here's the punt coming downfield. This one is good for 48 yards. Received there by Harmon.
Cover. Pretty good coverage. Good tackle there. Craig Cookie, one of the tacklers.
4-yard return, and Mississippi 7-7, 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Forcade's pass incomplete.
Option pass run was open, but a little bit overthrown.
It'll be 2nd down, 10 yards to go.
Oh, he almost had a good tackle, but almost not enough. We let the ball carrier fall forward too much. Quick screen pass, incomplete. I believe it's 4th down coming up.
4th and 4 at the 35.
Nobody's really established anything yet. Ole Miss hasn't. Tennessee hasn't. It looked like both of us were waiting for something to happen, or waiting for the other team to really carry the momentum.
This is James taking the 59-yard punt by Miller, returning it for 7 yards, and Tennessee has it 1st and 10 at the 19.
59 yards with the Windmills back.
Simpson picks up 2, knocked down by Peel. Ball at the 21, 2nd down 8.
Good job. That's good execution there. Good blocking. A good job of the quickness of the quarterback, Olszewski, and Hubert gets the ball. He turns upfield very well. Hubert's running very well the last few weeks, consistently. Uh-oh, big play. Very poorly played on our part. Really, probably a bad cut on the back's part. That place is out inside. It was a short yardage situation, and we didn't make it.
And it's 4th and 1, and so once more into the ball game comes Warren to punt. 7-7 remains the score in the first period.
That was a bad decision. One of the very few ones that Hubert made running. He should have stayed inside there all the way.
Punt is received and pounced upon by Harmon. 2-yard return of a 48-yard punt by Warren.
I'll say this, to say the least, that was not a classic display of football on either side of the line of scrimmage. Particularly the first half. It really was very, very sloppily played.
2nd down 7, ball at the 30. Mississippi has it. 7-7 remains the score. Forcade, number 1. Turns upfield, got a yard.
More like it. Good tackle. Brad White, who's the first man there, John? That's Brian Ingram, Brad White, maybe Chris Bolton.
That's who it was on the stop. It's 3rd down 6.
Forcade's very dangerous when he runs the ball north and south upfield. He's a strongly built young man. Good scrambler, good arm, and a very fine athlete.
Forcade back to throw. Pass complete.
Good job. The offensive Ole Miss.
Toller for a gain of 13 yards, and so it will be 1st and 10 for Mississippi at the Rebel 44.
We gave them very little pressure defensively. Trap play. We stopped the trap the first half very well. The second half, they broke it a couple times for touchdowns.
Gain of a yard on the play by Hooper. It'll be 2nd and 9 at the 45. Forcade.
Ooh, they knocked our noseman out of there. Good play by Kenny Jones.
No gain on the play as Forcade scrambles, and it will be 3rd down and 9. Forcade again.
Blitz on. Get to him. We got the blitz. All right. Finally got to him with some pressure. That's Brad White making a tackle. With good pressure by our linebacker, Pookie, and by the interior line.
4th down and 9.
Here's that barefooted kicker again.
Miller this time. Long, driving punt. James signals for the fair catch, but then lets the ball roll on through 55 yards on that punt by Miller.
Good job by Roland James taking the fair catch.
1st and 10 for Tennessee, nearing the end of the first period at the 20-yard line.
Okay, good hold. Good running, and that's fine. Second effort for Hubert Simpson. We did enough of that all day, but everybody, we would have won the ball game. No excuses, we didn't win it.
Gain of 11 on the play at the 31-yard line. Olszewski, the quarterback.
More effort like that.
Olszewski, the pitch.
Oh!
Where he lost it, and recovering it there was Teal for Ole Miss. As the first period comes to a close, Ole Miss has it 1st down and 10 at the 15. We'll see the second quarter in just 1 minute.
Comes early in Mississippi, it looks like.
And Mississippi has the ball as the second period gets underway, and we pick up the action with Mississippi in control, moving, as you see, the opposite way toward the right side of the line.
I'll tell you what.
Well, Forcade is going to look to throw the ball. Here's the pass, and it is incomplete, but just as it falls, there's number 60 downfield, setting up the screen, and so illegal receiver down, ineligible receiver downfield.
15-yard penalty, no loss of downs. Second and 21, I believe. And a big play coming up here that's really turned the game around at this stage.
7-7 remains the score. The second period getting underway. The pass out into the left flat is complete to Perry.
Steve Davis makes a good play there on the flat pass. And now it's third and 21?
Well, it's third down and 21 yards to go. Exactly.
This is a big play in the ball game. Third and 21. We've got him pretty well covered here. Forcade's back to pass. Too much time.
Here's the long pass across the field.
Wobbly pass. Should have been intercepted. Here, defender right in the hands, and he catches the ball. A large play by Ole Miss, but very poorly played by the defender. Directly in the hands, and that's a minus on our part, a very poor play. But you also have to give Ole Miss the wide receiver, who was it?
Freddie Williams made that catch.
Effort, and also a plus for being alert.
So Perry takes the ball and drives at left guard and moves it for a yard from the 2 to the 1, where Mississippi in a 7-7 game, second period just getting underway, has it. And now this is Perry ramming it into the end zone, and Ole Miss opens the lead once more to 6 points, 13-7.
Our secondary dropped too many tip passes and too many passes we should catch at times, in my opinion, and that was about as critical as it can be. That's what you call a tutor. I think it was a guy at Tennessee one time named Tutor who tutored one up in the air, or tipped one in the air and scored on them and cost Tennessee the game. We've called that a tutor pass ever since.
Here's the kickoff as Mississippi enjoys a 14-7 lead. Tennessee returning it as hauling the ball back upfield comes Hancock.
Nice relief to get the ball at the 28-yard line without fumbling. Plus, we got a penalty on spearing, which is a very rare thing you see today.
And so Tennessee puts it in play, 1st and 10 at the 45. The quarterback is David Rudder.
Good cut with Simpson. Good block in the middle of our line. Good cut. We're moving the ball now.
9-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 1 at the Ole Miss 46-yard line.
2nd and 1, huh?
2nd down and 1. Berry.
Ooh.
Met by Jordan. No gain.
That's a good play for Ole Miss defensive nose man Jordan. Stopped us in our tracks.
So it's 3rd and a yard. Pitch to Simpson.
And he makes the first down, breaks it.
Gain on the play of 8 yards. It's 1st and 10 for Tennessee at the Mississippi 38.
Several times in the first half, it looked like we were going to gain momentum and carry the tempo of the ball game pretty much. We never really established it over the long haul.
That time it was Simpson for 4. 2nd and 6 at the 34. Ole Miss. Tennessee in white with the ball. Rudder.
Oh.
Keel makes the stop. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Rudder to the right side, looks to pass.
Fine kick for feeling. A good throw, but they've ruddered.
That gain is good for 20 yards, and it's 1st and 10 for Tennessee at the Mississippi 14-yard line. 14-7 the score, Mississippi leading. Phil Ingram, junior from Nashville, returns to the huddle. Tennessee to the line.
Ole Miss stacked up front, 8-man front. Not much blocking. Ole Miss won the battle right there.
Gain of 2 by Berry, 2nd and 8.
Whipped our offensive line. When that happens, you're not going to make much yardage. Sweet play to Simpson. I tell you what, he's running hard. Hubert Simpson is turning on the team.
That time it was Householder who made the tackle on him after a gain of 3. It's 3rd down and 5.
Delay of the game penalty. We're too slow getting the play to our players this time, and very costly. 3rd and 5, you're going to see one of the costly plays of the ball game coming up.
3rd and 10 now at the 14-yard line. The 5-yard step off, delay of game.
We want a field goal here at the very least. We throw an interception in the end zone for a very critical touchback.
Rudder to the right side. There's the pass. Intercepted. No. As White picks it off, Brad White, Mississippi version, made the interception, and so the Rebels hold and take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Ole Miss with Forcade back at the controls. Handoff, driving straight ahead, Hooper for a gain of 5 yards. He's knocked down by Tennessee's version of Brad White. 2nd and 5 at the 25.
They broke a big gain there in the sprint draw play. They're taking too much to us right now. We're not attacking them on defense. A little bit better there. It was 2nd and 9 now, I guess.
Second down, 9 yards to go. Hooper went for 10, now for 1, and it will be 2nd and 9 at the 37.
Our defensive people didn't attack them enough up front the more the game went on. We did some decent things early, I think I've already mentioned.
There's the pass intended for Hooper, incomplete. 3rd down, 9 yards to go.
A little better pressure by our left tackle, Kenny Jones. Made 4K throw the ball a little bit quicker than maybe he wanted to. Safety blitz coming up, I believe. Roland James comes from back in the deep position. Here he comes. Get to him, Roland.
Pass incomplete, intended for Williams, and so it's 4th and 8.
The pressure also made him throw a little quicker than normal and made 4K throw the ball lower quite likely.
So here's Miller to punt. This one taken by James. 43 yards on the punt. Return by James of about 4 yards.
43
and so it's 1st
into the
and 10.
wind, and also good coverage on Ole Miss's part.
Rudder.
Yeah, that's it. Harper turns up, gets all he can here. That's the way to tuck the ball. Lower your body, lower your shoulder pad.
Gain of 14 yards on the play. 1st and 10 at the Volunteer 45-yard line.
Good cut, Simpson. Good cut.
Gain of 5, knocked down by Shaw and Hawkins. 2nd down, 5 at midfield.
Good running there by Berry.
Gain of 4. Tennessee trailing 14-7. 3rd down, a yard to go. Number 8, that's Rudder. 34, Berry. 32, Simpson. 3rd down, short.
Good go, good going.
That's Simpson straight ahead, and he drives for the 1st down. Ball moved to the 41-yard line.
We're moving the ball now with better consistency, better blocking, better execution. About that time, we don't make much.
Only 2 on the play by Simpson carrying.
Our offensive line's got to get up on the ball a little bit more.
Hancock makes the reception of the pass thrown by David Rudder.
That's good protection, John, and a very fine throw by Rudder. He threaded the needle there. Hancock caught the ball in pressure, and by the way, Anthony Hancock is becoming a better football player each day. That's the ball, Hubert. Use a stiff arm. You young backs, you see Hubert use a stiff arm. The ball was on his right hand. Tackle that position, but Hubert put his left hand out, straight armed him, and made about 4 or 5 yards strictly on his own. 2nd down,
actually a gain of 7 as he lunges along the far sideline, stepping for a gain of 7. Now this is Simpson driving it straight ahead for a gain of 5, and it's 1st down 10 at the 14.
This is what a football team is supposed to look like. We're driving the football, we're making 1st downs, we're moving the sticks, eating up time, letting our defense get some rest. Wow.
Daniels is popped by
Good
Otis
tackle.
and Householder.
Who was that?
Otis and Householder, both there on the stop.
Otis is the guy that really shocked us, knocked us up, straightened us up. Householder, the 2nd man up.
2nd down 8 at the 11. Mississippi leading 14-7. Rudder.
That's all he could do. He did something well.
Gains 3 yards, knocked down by Householder. 3rd down 5 at the 8.
Big play, 3rd and 5. The scoring territory, we call timeout to discuss it.
Volunteers to the line.
2 tight end offense. Kyle Aguilar at left.
And a late spear, as you saw, results in a penalty of half the distance to the goal against Mississippi. And so Tennessee will have it 1st down and goal to go.
That's a critical penalty for Ole Miss. We had one unnecessary roughness penalty in front of our bench. A late hit was very critical to us late in the game. Those are things that are very costly to our football team. This helped us score our touchdown.
Rudder keeping, and he struggles forward for little, if any, gain. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go as Mississippi's goal line defense digging in near the end of the 1st half of the game. 14-7, Ole Miss leads at this point. Simpson.
Wow, I tell you, seems like I'm saying wow a little bit more. They stuffed us a few too many times right ahead. Our offensive line close to the goal line was more disappointing than our execution was at any time in my memory. We've gotten this close. We've normally stuck the ball in the end zone.
It will be 3rd down and goal for Tennessee. This is Simpson, and he carries it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Good surge by the middle of our line, also extra surge by Simpson.
And so Tennessee carves the gap from 14-7 to 14-13. The orange and white Shakers are shaking near the end of the 1st half. The extra point attempt by Tennessee ties the game. So at the end of the first half, it's 14-14, Tennessee and Ole Miss. We'll talk with Coach Majors at halftime in just a moment. It's halftime at this Southeastern Conference football game between Tennessee and Mississippi being played at Jackson. The score is tied at 14-14. Mississippi, coming into the game after a loss to Tulane the week before, has been close many times this year, and right now they're close at halftime of this football game.
You know, the last drive we made with a minute and a half to go in the half when we scored was 69 yards and 14 plays. That was outstanding. We ate up the clock. It showed what we could do when we executed. Other than that, the other three scores we made were less than 15 yards total drives. Once by us, twice by Ole Miss. Halftime, you know, what do you say? Except, you know, we got some things to working for us, fellas, but if you beat yourselves, you want to play Santa Claus all day long, then things are not going to turn out very well. But it's out there for the getting, and the only way to do it is get out there and get after it and execute better the second half.
And so Tennessee and Mississippi are tied 14-14. The Volunteers came into the game with a record of 1-2. Anything surprising to you as far as the strategy of Ole Miss offensively in the first half?
No, not really.
Defensively?
I felt like Ole Miss got after us a little bit better defensively than they had in the past. Particularly a few times they stuffed us early, but we made a lot of yardage on the first half. We were winning the statistic battle. We just were our own worst enemies. I thought their defense tightened their backbone a little bit more at times yesterday than they had before.
So it's Ole Miss 14, Tennessee 14. We'll talk more at halftime in just 1 minute. Gets underway, and the Rebels will elect to receive as Ole Miss kicked off to begin the game. There you see number 36, that's Freddie Williams. Here you see number 10, Alan Duncan, kicking off. Here again, the coach of the Volunteers, Johnny Majors.
Not a very good kick here by Allen. I think they get the ball out to about the 30-yard line. Good tackle by Johnny Watts from Memphis, Tennessee. That's the way you like to see more people tackle. Something we've got to improve on the next 2 weeks and all the way through spring practice next fall, because our tackling is not near tenacious enough on defense. We're a little bit too soft-natured at times. Like right there. We let a back really fall forward. More by being a little too passive. You know, the Ole Miss back gave second effort. You got to give him a plus on that. There's better penetration. Steve Burns, who's a converted linebacker, playing nose man for the second week in a row. We've completely run out of nose men, John, because of injuries. We've had 3 injured nose men. We're down to Burns and Gillespie, who's a converted tackle. We've been very, very thin in the defensive line. At monster man, where we've had 3 people hurt.
And so Mark Burns on for Tennessee on the stop, and here's the punt with Miller booming it downfield, and it's going out of bounds, 41 yards. Tennessee first down and 10 at the Volunteer 24, 14-14 the score.
Also, I might mention the injury is a very key position at quarterback.
Jimmy Streeter did not see action in this football game. Olszewski started. For those of you who might be joining us late, that was Rudder tackled for a loss of 3 yards by Jordan.
Big play here. I believe he gets the handoff to this side of the screen, or the other side. Hubert Simpson breaks the line of scrimmage. A big play.
So Hubert Simpson rambling down for Tennessee, being trailed by Otis, who reaches out, lunging to make the stop after a gain of 62 yards, and it's 1st and 10 Tennessee.
Otis made an excellent effort, John. Hubert Simpson's not slow. Otis made a diving attempt, stopped Hubert, possibly on a touchdown. The other defender for Ole Miss might have made the play.
Now it will be at the 17-yard line. Handoff, James Berry. Hold up the middle, and Berry carries it all the way down to the 1-yard line.
You talk about football being a game of inches and the little things, you realize that saving tackle by Otis and also James Berry getting stopped on the 1-yard line has maybe become very costly with this effort on our part.
There's Berry trying the middle, runs into Hawkins, no gain. It will be 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line.
This is possibly the biggest part of the ball game. This series of downs right here.
Rudder, the quarterback, sneaking. He stopped.
They just gripped us up front there. There's no other excuse. 3rd and a half a yard.
That's where it is, as Tennessee gives to Simpson.
Poor blocking. The Republicans stayed inside running the football. Nothing out there.
So Tennessee now has it 4th down and about 4 yards to go.
3 points is very important. I hate to settle for a cheap 3-pointer here when you're on the 1-yard line. It's the worst display of goal line offense that I guess we've had a football team have for some 6 years.
So it will be Duncan to attempt the field goal, but before he gets it off, Tennessee is guilty of delay of game, and so a 5-yard penalty will be assessed, and it will be 5-yard longer on the field goal attempt from 21 to 26 yards. The kick by Duncan is up, and the kick by Duncan, as you see, is good. So Tennessee, for the first time in the game, leads, this time by a score of 17-14.
That was a very good one. It really wasn't a drive. 3 big plays, well, 2 big plays, a run by Simpson and a run by Berry. Puts the ball on the 1-yard line, and we have to settle for 3 points. Is most discouraging, even though you're leading the ball game for the first time all day.
1st and 10 now as Ole Miss sees the ball soar through the end zone, and the Rebels have it at the 20-yard line.
Okay, now, defense, we better stiffen our backbones, make something happen, attack them.
Forcade, the quarterback. His team behind. He's back to throw. Looks across the middle. The pass complete to Wise. And Wise makes a gain of 9 yards, making it 2nd down and a yard to go at the 29.
Our defense is not playing very tenacious right now at all. In fact, I shouldn't overuse that word. We're catching. We go ahead right now, and our defense right there is playing like a sponge the last 2 plays. It's just pathetic.
1st and 10. Ole Miss at the 35.
Crank it up, fellas. Crank it up. You know, tomorrow's too late.
Forcade.
Get to it. Still let it fall over 2 or 3 yards.
Got about a yard and a half on the play. It'll be 2nd down, a short 8 yards to go.
Get to the quarterback. Get your hands up. Should be intercepted.
But it's complete.
Very poorly played by our part. Halfback just plainly got whipped there, 1-on-1.
Forcade completing it to Freddie Williams for a gain of 38 yards, and it's down to the Volunteer 26. Carrying the ball this time, sweeping the right side is Perry. Gains 3 yards, knocked down by Pookie. It'll be 2nd down and 7 at the 23.
Draw play, sprint draw, knock him back.
Gain of 4 by Hooper. 3rd and 3 at the 19. Tennessee leading 17-14. Mississippi took the kickoff following the field goal. They're moving with it toward Tennessee's goal line. Big play. Forcade. Pitch to Perry.
Very fine execution on the part of Forcade. Our defensive end was out of position, so was our monster man. That was a very fine play on the quarterback's part. We're making him look pretty good right now because we were kind of like a soft cushion.
That's Hooper up the middle for a gain of a yard. Moving it down. 2nd down and goal at the 2-yard line after the 16-yard sweep at the end.
Straighten your backbone. Get your legs underneath him. Attack them on defense.
2nd down and goal. Perry. He stopped just short of the goal line. And so it'll be 3rd and goal. 17-14, Tennessee leading in the 3rd period. Ole Miss 3rd down play. Perry into the end zone. There you see the touchdown sign. And so Ole Miss goes right back on top by a score of 20-17.
Big play on the pass play.
The extra point attempt is very high, and as you see, is off to the left, no good. So the difference remains 3 points, 20-17, and it will be Mississippi kicking off to the Volunteers. Langley will do the kicking.
I wonder what's going to happen now in the kickoff. That man, fellas, is going to come downfield to you. Let's pick it up, go with it. Belongs to you this time.
Fumbled, but picked up by Tennessee. And the return comes back up to about the 16-yard line, where Tennessee will have it 1st down and 10. Tennessee trailing in the football game 20-17 at the 3rd period.
Good surge for Simpson.
Gain of 6 on the play. 2nd down 4 at the 22. Simpson again. Change that. This is Berry this time. Up the middle for 4, just a little short of the 1st, as you see with the measurement.
And then lightning strikes again. I believe we're going to make the 1st down here, and something very critical is going to happen. It pretty much puts this ball game in very bad shape.
That's Simpson fumbling the football, and it's been recovered by Mississippi's White.
That's another gift.
And it's 1st and 10 for Mississippi at the Volunteer 26-yard line.
Very rarely do you not come away without any points when you're on offense in this field position. Certainly any kind of offensive team. Watch out.
Perry,
speaking of scoring,
on the trap, into the end zone. Touchdown for Mississippi, as it was Perry carrying it in 26.5 yards. And so Mississippi has its biggest advantage, 27-17. As in to attempt the extra point will be Langley. This could make it a 10-point difference, as The extra point by Langley is up and good. And so Mississippi's lead is, in fact, 27-17 with 4:14 to go in the third period of the game. And Langley will be kicking off again for the Rebels, who have broken from a 14-14 halftime tie. See Tennessee go up by 3, now come back for 10 points, and
it's amazing how the adrenaline really starts flowing, too. When you score a touchdown like that, Langley kicks the ball into the wind, into the end zone, which is a very fine thing for them. Going forward, breaking the line of scrimmage behind, decent blocking up front, and good running on the part of that freshman, who I think has a good future at Tennessee.
Glenn Ford for a gain of 17 yards on the play from the 20 to the 37, so Tennessee trailing by 10 has it 1st and 10. Rudder, the quarterback for the Volunteers. Pumps will pull it down and scrambles forward for a gain of about 2 yards on the play.
Not much there. Well covered by Ole Miss.
Householder made the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Rudder's pass complete to Harper.
Good quick execution on the part of Rudder. Good blocking, good protection. Fine catch for Harper. You get the ball to number 85, he's going to come down with it.
Gain of 18, 1st and 10 at the Ole Miss 38-yard line. This is Rudder. Pass complete. Hancock, 30.
There's another very explosive young man, too. That's good effort. That young man is showing more maturity each week. Anthony Hancock comes in and watches films on his own. He's becoming a better blocker. He's learning more about what second effort means. Very proud of a lot of the progress he's made.
That gain is good for a 1st down and 10 to go at the 10.
Not much there. They stuffed us.
Simpson carried, met by Peel and McDonald. A gain of a yard. 2nd down goal at the 9. Rudder.
Block for him now. Turn out, David.
Pass is deflected down by Otis, the end, and it will be 3rd down and goal.
Nothing there. Nothing there.
Rudder again to throw. Will scramble out of the pocket. Race with the ball downfield. Gets it to about the 3, but it's short of the 1st. 4th down and 3. Tennessee trails by 10. And the Volunteers elect to go for the field goal. Rudder talking.
They kick the field goal. It puts you within 7 points again. 4th and 3. The statistics are not in your favor to make it on 4th and 3.
Mississippi takes a timeout after Tennessee had taken a timeout to discuss the situation. There you see the scoreboard. And now Duncan realigns himself for the field goal attempt, which will be a 20-yard attempt. And the kick by Duncan is up, and as the referee indicates to you, the kick is good. So the third period comes to a close, and the score at the end of 3 quarters is Mississippi 27, Tennessee 20. The final period coming your way in just 1 minute.
We blow hot and cold.
The injured Forcade has returned to the game, giving this time to Perry, and Perry, who went over 100 yards in the football game, picks up 7 right there. It's 3rd down a yard to go at the 41.
I've been very disappointed in our defensive play for a period of time. We've got to make a lot of improvement the next 2 weeks. Also, in the years ahead, for us to be a tough football team day after day. Unless you have a defense to stabilize you and a good kicking game, John, you're going to play sometimes like a yo-yo and a roller coaster. That's been some of Ole Miss's problems, some of our problems. You got to have a tough defense. Ole Miss's defense was tougher at times Saturday against us.
Perry went for 16, then he comes right back with a gain of 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and 3 at the 14-yard line of Tennessee. Forcade, hand off to Perry. Perry vaults over the left side of the line, picks up 3 yards, enough for the 1st down and 10 to go.
We won very few battles up front the second half defensively. There's some penetration.
Mark Burns makes the tackle of Hooper.
Freshman from Huntsville, Alabama, a fine linebacker in high school, playing nose man for the first time in his life the last 7 or 8 days.
Hooper carries this time for a gain of 2 down to the 8-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down.
We're hugging on to him. Looks like we're waltzing right now. This is a contact sport.
4th down, and so Mississippi will attempt a field goal of 22 yards by Langley. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Ole Miss opens the lead from 14 to 17. It's 37-20 with 7:37 left to go in the football game.
Those are 3 big points. It's a good call on their part to get the ball in the middle of the field, because now we have to score 3 times to win the ball game. That's most difficult, except in freakish situations with 7 minutes to go in the ball game.
Here's Langley again, kicking the ball deep into the end zone where it is down, and so Tennessee will put it in play at the 20-yard line. 1st down and 10 to go, trailing by 17. Rudder to the near side on a scramble. Got 6 yards on the play. Knocked down by Nikita Williams. It will be 2nd down and 4 at the 26-yard line. Ole Miss with the 5-man line. That's Ingram in motion for Tennessee. This is Rudder.
Check. Too much of that. Bad things can happen.
That was Dalton who comes in to make the sack.
Turn up, throw, or run the football.
Loss of 9.
Get something done now. Let's move it.
3rd and 13. As throws the ball downfield. It is incomplete. Intended for Hancock. Incomplete.
Doesn't help on Sunday.
4th down, 13 yards to go. Warren is in for Tennessee to punt. The ball's trailing 37-20.
It's so ridiculous sometimes it's almost funny, but it's not very funny. Drop passes, scramble when you shouldn't scramble.
32-yard punt, 5-yard return by Harmon, so Ole Miss.
Let's do something positive. Move the ball north and south.
Perry straight ahead, gains 4 yards, knocked down by Gillespie. It's 2nd and 6 at the Volunteer 40-yard line. 37-20 to score in favor of Mississippi. The Rebels with it, Forcade. Perry straight ahead for the gain of a yard. Bolton made the tackle. 3rd and 5 at the 39.
Good tackle with Al Barksdale.
Gain of 5, however, on the play, and as the measurement will indicate, enough for the 1st down as Ole Miss counting the clock
all
off.
Over but the shouting right now, and we won't be doing the shouting. It'll be done by folks in the red shirt.
And it is Hooper who gains 7 yards straight ahead, knocked down by Jones. 2nd down, 3 at the Volunteer 27-yard line.
After a game like this, there's not much time to do any talking or anything else. The best thing to do is get your shower, get on the bus, head back home, get ready for the next one.
Hooper.
Really, we should have had cold water for showers, all of us.
4th down.
Coaches and players.
1st down for Mississippi at the 23-yard line.
Trap.
Perry gets 3 this time. And this time he comes up the middle for 2 more. It's 3rd down and 5.
Make an initial stop.
Coleman. Cooper gains 4. It's 4th down and 1. Ole Miss content, of course, to try to count the clock down. Will go for the 1st down on 4th, deep in Tennessee territory. And vaulting forward, catapulting for the 1st is Price. 1st and 10 at the 12. Coleman on the give. Fakes, keeps himself, gets a gain of 2, knocked down by Gillespie. Ball rests at the Tennessee 10-yard line. 2nd down, 8 to go. This is Price into the end zone to score, as Ole Miss opens the gap to 43-20. The extra point by Langley. Upcoming as Ole Miss and its fans sense the victory over the Volunteers at Jackson, Mississippi. It's 43-20 as the extra point is kicked up and through, and the final score is written on the scoreboard. 44-20, Mississippi winning over Tennessee. We'll visit with Coach Majors in just a moment. Mississippi Rebels went over Tennessee by a score of 44-20 at Jackson, Mississippi. During the week leading up to the game, Coach Majors, in our pregame interview on the radio side of the broadcast, you mentioned the fact that while there had been a lot of talk in the press, on radio and television about a possible bowl game, Tennessee's players and coaches hadn't discussed it much. But I have to say or ask if bowl talk, bowl thoughts might have been a factor.
Maybe we should have talked about it more. Or done something different. We made an effort really to approach practice in a positive attitude. And we had, I think, the best practice sessions we've had in some time. And I still think that's the only way to go, because we still have a football team and a program that still hasn't materialized to the point where they can handle success very well. But we tried to make an effort to put the past victory behind us very quickly. Went to work on Sunday preparing for Ole Miss. I never heard our football team mention the Notre Dame game or a bowl possibility, period, all week. And I thought that was a good atmosphere, because I felt like at times in the past with our team and with other teams at the same stage of the rebuilding program, quite often could not handle something good for a period of time, and the next week somebody slipped up on them. This team this year is very typical of one we had the 3rd year at Pittsburgh when we were upset with Navy, 17-0. The next week we beat Notre Dame 34-20 for the first time. Following week upset by West Virginia. And we probably had more football players, more depth, and more experience, and maybe more ability at that time than we do here because of the rules changes. But still, we played like a yo-yo at times until we got stabilized and got confidence. And again, we've legislated, done a heck of a job of it, equality in college football, and we certainly proved that Saturday, except we weren't quite equal in a lot of ways.
As Ole Miss wins over Tennessee, we'll look ahead to what's to come and also talk a little bit about some other outstanding activities across the state of Tennessee with Coach Majors in just a moment. All across the state of Tennessee this week, high school playoff games, high school football, very important. Get out and support your team.
Yes, it's a very exciting time again for high school football coaches and fans and students and whatever around the state of Tennessee. I'd like to also advise the people in the state of Tennessee that there's a vote coming up of the utmost importance to high school football and to the University of Tennessee and all of us in the last part of November to do away with spring practice in Tennessee high schools. Please advise your principals, your superintendents, your high school coaches to do not vote this out, because I think it'd be a great setback for Tennessee high school football.
This week it'll be Tennessee against Kentucky, and that game, of course, in Southeastern Conference football will be played in Lexington.
They are really improving. I think Fran Kurtz has done the greatest job in the SEC this year, in my opinion.
And so Tennessee will be facing the Wildcats of Kentucky in Lexington. We'll be here. Have a nice Thanksgiving, everyone. Till we see you next week. For Coach Johnny Majors, John Woods.